All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first in what is hopefully going to be a series of YouTube videos. I think I'm going to be posting them on YouTube of the Free Talkers Estate. So this is a game called Darkest Dungeon. It's a turn-based strategy game where it's about basically taking a group of adventurers into a dungeon, managing their health and stress levels versus whatever objective you're trying to complete, and also managing like resources available and like inventory space. And I've played a little bit of this game. I've played like 50 hours of this game probably. So I'm a part of a group of folks that it's just kind of like an open forum. We chat in the NFL subreddit free talk thread. I talk with these folks most days, posting about random nonsense mostly. And I was like, hey, I want to do a new Darkest Dungeon campaign, and I'm looking for names to basically name the characters after. I personally think that instead of just taking the names that the game gives you, it's much more personal if you play with characters that have names that like actually mean something to you. The campaign that I've ran in the past, I named everybody after my friends and family, so it gives it more of a personal feel. You're not just throwing bodies into the meat grinder. It's like, I'm going out, it's like me, my girlfriend, my brother, and my roommate. So I decided, like, hey, this would be a fun thing. I'll excuse me, I'll send out, I'll get names from folks in the free talk thread, and I'll keep everybody updated on how they're doing in the campaign. This week I sent out, myself, and like 3 other people. I sent out these 4 people, give updates on like their heroics, their when they maybe missed some pretty important hits where somebody saved somebody else's life. Give like the story basically. And it like I said, it means more because these are actually people. I don't know anybody personally, but at least I don't think so. But they're people that like I chat with regularly, and it would make for fun conversation. And I thought, like, hey, I could do that, and I could also record videos and put them up on YouTube. I've been thinking about doing this kind of thing for a while, and what a better place to start? Maybe somebody will watch it from the free talk thread. Who knows? And so I sent out a call. I got maybe for names for people who wanted to play. I got maybe like 10 people. And I'm hoping that, more people, they see me posting about it and they're like, hey, I'd like to have my name in this group of folks that's going out and doing adventuring. So we're going to send out our first group. So Gardner Minshew II, that's myself, Taiku, Wide Ruled, and JPK. So this is going to be our first dungeon. I skipped the tutorial because I don't think you were even allowed to name the characters before you got to the hamlet. And I've played the tutorial probably 3 or 4 times at this point. And so this is going to be the first group of folks. So this group is called The Usual Suspects. It's the first 4 you get generally. We're going into the ruins. Ooh, Farmstead, that's new. That's another thing, is I have never played any of the downloadable content for this game. I just bought it this afternoon. So this is going to be, a lot of this stuff is going to be new. I don't think anything's going to be particularly new anytime soon. But, there will be a lot of new content that I'll be kind of learning about through playing. So it should be fun. Like I said, the characters are myself, Gardner Minshew II. I'm a warrior light, so I deal extra damage when we're above 75%. Torch. The torch is one of the resources, basically. It's basically how much light you have available. But I have a lot of, potentially bad things. Like I get bleed effects more often. I can only pray to relieve stress, and I steal items, which my character had that in my last campaign. It's annoying. Taiku He's got a lot of good things going on. He's got some extra stun resist. He's quicker, which is really good for his character. Takes reduced stress in the Warrens. However, he can't gamble while he's in town, which is like that's the trade-off. He's a highwayman. Oh yeah, right. So I'm a crusader, which is basically your paladin. Taiku's a highwayman. He's got like a sword and pistol by his side, as the song goes. Many a soldier lost his lifeblood on my blade. Wide Ruled is the Plague Doctor. He does a lot of like poison effects and like a little bit of healing here and there. I think he's got poison, he's got stun, he's got healing, and he's got some kind of like disorientation. He's good at like making sure that we're going in the right direction, but potentially bad at healing and deals reduced damage on the first round. That's not going to be the biggest of deals for a Plague Doctor, but then our last character is JPK. He's a Vestal, which is kind of like a cleric. He gets bonus crit if he's hurting and extra dodge, but if he's ever in a situation where he might die, he's more likely to die. So these are the folks that are headed out. And I think we're just going to provision up and go for it. And like I said, I'll be writing all this up and posting it on the Free Talk thread. Hopefully gain some traction. We'll see. All right, so let's provision.
The cost
so we're
of
doing
preparedness, measured now in gold.
What is this? This is a
later.
Yeah, so we have to explore 90% of rooms. It's a short one, so we don't need much in terms of provision. Shard Dust. Use to tap into otherworldly. Oh, so that's what uses shards, which are a new currency that I do not know about. So I don't really know. I don't really know what like optimal provisioning is. This is just what I've generally rolled with. I'm gonna take one less anti-venom because we have the extra one. So these are all the different resources you can use. So taking 12 food, a shovel, so if there's something in the way, we can kind of hack it apart. Bandages, skeleton keys, and torches. And I think we are off to the races. Into the ruins. The ruins of my ancestry. Be curious, be careful. Excuse me. All right, once more into the breach. I guess into the breach for the first time, but so you need to explore 90% of the rooms. So I think that's all of them. I'm not sure if you have to do all but one. We're gonna move to this room to start because we don't have much of a choice. I'm trying to go along down the hall. So there's a
Wealth beyond
things
measure,
called curiosities.
awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
There's things called curiosities, and so like you'll find random things in the dungeon. They can be good, they can be bad. This one was just like a torch that was unburnt, so we just picked it up and kind of move on. Our light is at 88. All right, we got our first fight. This kind of sucks. So the Plague Doctor, he's good at hitting the back line, like the way he's currently built. He's good at hitting the back line, but unfortunately. So each kind of action you can take, it shows. So like above where it says Plague Grenade 1, to the left it has like the slots that he can stand in and the slots that he can hit. And so these two, he has to be standing in the back, which he is, but there's nobody in the back two for them that he can hit. So he only has the other two. So we're just gonna try to stun this guy, which is pretty likely. There are resists, so it, on the right, it'll show, at the bottom of the right, it'll show the resistances that they have to each, like, kind of like debuff type, or, yeah, not debuff, but like, status effect type. So he only had a 10% chance to resist the stun, so since he's stunned this turn, He's got 1 action remaining, but he can't take it, so this will take that up. So we're just gonna try to kill this guy, and we can kill this guy on the next turn. So Taiku, the Highwayman, he's gonna try to kill the bad guy. So that was, I'm not gonna say unlucky, but he almost killed this guy. Hopefully JPK will be able to clean it up. Yep.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
So the Vestal is more of a healer. He kind of did, kind of like capped what he could do there. I'm gonna quick turn down this audio.
The victory. The victory.
So this is an unlocked strongbox. So different. So this is like a room with a curiosity or a room with treasure, I think. So sometimes it'll be locked and we'd have to use a key, but since this one's unlocked, we just open it and we get some resources and some. These are what are called heirlooms. Heirlooms can help you upgrade your town. Probably as I get more into this, I'm gonna start explaining less and less, but I like explaining things. It's, I was a teacher in grad school, so
Preventing passage.
a TA. Fight. So they start surprised. So when in a surprise round, we all go and then they all go because they're surprised. If we were surprised, they would all go and then we would all go. So we're gonna try to. We're gonna try to stun the guy or gas grenade the poison the guy in the back. That's we're basically trying to lay down as much damage as we can so that hopefully we can kill a couple of these guys before we didn't get them, so they're gonna get two things we have to balance are health and stress. So when health runs out, you're like at death's door, and death's door will basically I'm gonna try to 83% chance to hit. I'm gonna try to fight it again. He resisted the blood at 20%. Oh my god, that was fun. At death's door, every time you take damage, you have a chance to die. So that was what I was saying. I think it was the Vestal JPK. Yeah, he'd be more likely to die. There's a guaranteed kill. Unfortunately, he left a corpse. So when enemies die, they can leave corpses that they kind of just get in the way. Dude. They kind of just get in the way. But, so like, for example, this character, I guess it's me, can't hit the third slot with any of his abilities. Can only hit the first two, so because that corpse was in the way, he couldn't hit the cultist appetite. Who is doing some stress damage to Taiku here. I'm gonna try to kill significant damage to both of them. Yeah, so that was a good hit. What does that do? Oh, okay, so it increases. Could do a little bit of healing. Probably should have tried to stun, but. So Taiku's pretty stressed out already. When you hit 100 stress, there's like a stress event basically that happens, and it can either be like a good thing happens and like you kind of like find solitude or strengthen your stress and kind of power through it, or something bad can happen and you become like masochistic, for example, is one of them, and you just basically just like hurt everyone whenever you can. So this is the kleptomania. So I didn't trigger that. He's just gonna take those.
often low on supplies.
So that would have been a key and some food that I would have had for me, but unfortunately, or for us, but unfortunately, like my character took it. It says a lot of chests, so hopefully we can dispatch these guys pretty easily. Pop open the chest. Oh, that's a good hit. It's a good hit, Taigu. Oh, he resisted the bleed. He resisted the bleed? Oh, yeah, okay. We're gonna try to play grenade. He resisted the blight. Wow, these chance. Was his chance on 100%? 100% base, yeah. They've been getting pretty lucky on their resists. The brawler can deal a pretty decent bleed, so I'm trying to get rid of him first. And we missed. Oh, the yank. JPK takes it. There's the bleed I was talking about. That's a good hit on everybody. Shut my Taigu. Alright. We're going to try one more time to play grenade, because that's really all the plague doctor can do this early. The blight does deal significant damage, but... Alright. Hero's bleeding. Yeah. So we're going to use a bandage, stop bleeding, and heal everyone. Just the skeletons. I probably should have stopped him. So the Crusader, like me, I deal extra damage against Unholy, which is like a creature type, which is what the skeletons are. So he's pretty good for this specific area. So this is an heirloom chest. It's got a family sigil on it. Sigil. You can use a key to open it. Generally, anything with like a keyhole needs a key to open it. Otherwise, you're gonna take a bunch of damage from like poison spraying in the face or something. All right. Move to the next room. All right. So here's a trap. So you have a chance to like see what's coming up. Most of the time you don't see what's coming up, but you have like I think it's a 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 chance, and that depends on the scenario, of seeing what's coming up. So we know that there's a trap here. If we didn't hit our scout on this, we wouldn't know there's a trap, and we would have just stepped on it, and somebody would have had to like make a save basically, in D&D terms. Let's see. So it's got everybody's chance to disarm. Gonna have Taigu disarm it. When he disarmed, he also gained back a little bit of sanity, so that was very convenient that he had our highest disarm chance. Alright. We got another scout, which is really cool. It's an empty room. So walking through regions that you've already seen is not as hard as walking through regions you have not seen yet, so I'm going to go into the region that I haven't seen. Whoa, this is a big... That was a lot of food we just gained. I'm just going to top everyone off. Food gives you a little bit of healing. He's full. Okay. Food gives you a little bit of healing, and sometimes you need to eat food. It forces you. We're gonna, whether or not it ends here at this next room, we're gonna go back and fight that other thing anyway. The more you fight, the more likely you are to find good treasure. So we're just gonna take any fight we can get. Here's the one fight. Okay, cool. We didn't surprise them, so we're gonna just go. The order in which you go is based on speed, and it's kind of like a roll based on speed. Alright, so we're gonna do 5. Especially Plague Grenade. These guys are very irresistant to stun, or to blight. We're 18% hit, so we're very likely to blight them. This guy's gonna die in his turn. This guy is not, but... Oh, that's another thing. You can get knocked out of order, which we did, and I totally forgot to put back in order. Or put our team back in order. So, yeah. That's one thing, my biggest... Well, I mean, I'm not particularly good at this game anyway, but the biggest thing that I think... the easy thing that I miss all the time is putting everybody back in order after a fight. It's easy, and I just never ever remember. So let's take an 8 per round. We're gonna hit the thing and play.
This is how a life is taken.
8 per round. I think we're gonna just shoot this guy because if we hit him, which is 80% chance, he'll take between 5 and 9 damage inclusive, and he will then take 8 damage at the start of his turn from didn't work out, but from the blight, then he would have been dead. Of course, it didn't work out. So one thing, I'm gonna use Bulwark of Faith on the Crusader, myself, I guess, Gardner Minshew. So he basically is harder to kill, and the enemies attack him more, and it raises our torch by 24, which is a lot. It's a slow death if you want it. Alright, so since I can't hit the guy in the front, I'm just going to do some healing with the Plague Doctor, despite the fact that it's one of his traits is that he's bad at healing. But that's okay. We'll forget him. It's 4 to 7 damage. It's 2 to 4 damage. So we'll try to main. He can't bleed. His bleed resistance is 100, 200%, so he's like impossible to, get bleed on. And then I'll crush him to death. Yep. Just like that. Bing bang boom and we dip. Alright, so quest is complete. I'm going to continue adventuring. We have a Bear Moon in this chest to unlock. And then I want to go back and do that fight. So you're going to get some food. We're going to move back. I normally play this game on my laptop, which is a Mac, and it does not run this smoothly, so this is delightful. Windowed mode on my Mac. So you can hear me go munch, munch, munch. So normally, each of these blocks, when you've already explored, it reduces your life by 1. Normally, it's like a lot more than 1. I guess we're gonna find out right here. So we're at 90. 6. Disarm the trap. Keep on keeping on. Torch up. Make sure everyone's topped off here. This is the last fight, so... So there's a curiosity here. I don't know what this one does, so we're going to find out together. I forgot to reset again. So each character has like a preferred position. The preferred position for the Vestal is in the back, and he's currently in second from the front. So This is kind of a big mistake by me. If we were in like a more difficult dungeon, that would really probably come back to bite us. But this is, like I said, this is the first of week 1. Just getting our feet wet, really. He's the one. My old roommate and I we used to play a lot of Gloomhaven when we lived together, and he had a knack for getting people down to 1. And every time he'd go, he's at 1! So.
The promise of safety.
Yeah, so this fight's now taking care of itself. He's gonna die on his turn. He's taking 8 damage per round. He has 1 hit point. He's gonna survive his turn because Taiku missed his shot, but it didn't really matter. Holy Fountain. We're gonna try pouring holy water into it. Oh, divine benefit, 12 heal, and 20 sand. Okay, so that's a good thing to note for the future. I've never. I don't think I've ever used one of these holy fountains. If you pour holy water into it, you get a blessing. And so that reduces stress. So your hit points regen at the end of quest. Your stress does not. So if you have a really high stress, you're gonna have to be sent to like the tavern or to the to like go pray or meditate to relieve your stress. And that's gonna take a whole week. So you're gonna be unavailable for the next dungeon, basically. And things can go wrong. If you're going to the tavern, you could end up going missing, basically. We're gonna pop out of this, complete the quest. We get our 3,000 gold, 4 crests, protection stone, which I'll probably throw on. Yes, this is a trinket. Just get this. Trinkets are things that kind of change your stats for the better, like net for the better. Alright, so we got 2 level ups, which is nice. On both JVK and Wide Ruled, we got 2 experience, which bumped us up to like halfway to level 2 for myself and Taiku. Balance is really good on the Vestal, and Fascinated with Corpses it's one of those things that if you're walking through like the dungeon and you see a corpse on the ground, now Taiku is going to have like a 75% chance to just be like, oh, let's take a look at this. But yeah, so we return to town.
The tents are pitched, banners fly, and the corpse wagons stand at the ready. The circus has come to town.
Butcher's Circus is that's a DLC, basically it's like a PvP DLC. I haven't touched that ever, but maybe someday. I don't think I'm gonna submit our 4 level 1 characters to the Butcher Circus. So we just unlocked the Abbey, which allows stress relief.
Cobwebs have been dusted, the fuse set straight.
So for example, if I wanted, like, say I had like way too much, I hit like 150 out of 200 sanity, stress. That would be something that I would want to put him in the Abbey for the week, but I didn't, so we're not going to. So that's week 1. I had a lot of fun making it, and you're like playing it, and as we go on, we'll unlock more and more of these buildings. We'll figure out what shards do. We'll get some new characters. We'll raid some new dungeons. These are looks like you can get shards from doing potentially like farmstead missions, maybe exclusively. But we'll see. I hope anybody who's watching this enjoyed it. Please let me know. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. If my mic's bad, if my play is bad, just let me know. Yeah, and until next time, have a good one.